Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to the audience viewership panel across the globe. My name is Karthik, and we are here to talk about the new age marketing, uh, precisely the shift that is currently happening in the marketing world to a mass personalization, and that will also eventually elevate the customer experience. So, with that, let me quickly introduce my team. My name is Karthik, and I lead the global sales, business, and consulting services for NextDime. Uh, and alongside me, we have Amit Kumar, who is heading our intelligent automation analytics. Partha Pant, he takes care of the rest of the world sales, which is India and APAC, and Rishi Sharma, who takes care of the global marketing. So this is the team that we have on the call today. If you have any questions after the presentation is over, they'll be more than happy to assist, help you with their views. So with that, let's quickly deep down to agenda. We're going to talk about the changing paradigm in terms of how in today's world, the customer centricity is kind of changing, the behaviors are changing. What are the challenges that marketing head and chief marketing officers are already grappling or facing, and what's the way forward? And then finally, what is the importance of leveraging analytics and data on the customer-centric marketing, and how do we get to implement that? And post that, obviously, like I said, we have the team to take care of Q&A. So quickly talking about the global changing paradigm. The overall equilibrium of the customer centricity has changed. Gone are the days wherein you could have had a mass mailer without a proper target segment to a lot of people, and that used to work. These days, more and more focus approach is being there in the cards. So much so that within the same age group, within the same segment, there is a focused, personalized marketing that is on the cards. So because the customer behavior is changing, the buying pattern is changing, therefore, there is an apparent need for more prioritized targeting. Now, how does one do all this? We leverage data and technology, obviously. But the first and foremost thing is the recognition of the fact that something is changing, right? So, especially for the marketing leads, marketing managers, if you're not able to understand the change, uh, I doubt you'll be able to leverage the data and technology well, right? So, therefore, the conceptually, where I would request everybody to look at the change that's already happened. And there are many changes, right? So one is the change that COVID has already got, and that is a short-term one. We hope that's a short-term, right? Which means more and more spends are now happening online. There's a lot of digital touch points that has been on the uproar. Need for a different multi-channel access, right? Gone are the days you'll have two channels to access a potential buyer. There are multi-channels today available. Then a major shift to a virtual channel for customer engagement and collaboration. That's the short term. Now, this short term is a very significant one. We all recognize that. And this has already led to a long term thinking on how we would want to have a customer acquisition, how we want to have a customer retention. In the long term, what a customer would need is a personalized approach with the right message to the right person and through multiple channels. See, what also happens is today, because we have multiple modes of communication, multiple modes of marketing, if the messaging to that one customer is different, then the customer will get confused and invariably he'll go to a competition, right? So therefore, it has to be the same message across all multiple channels, obviously at the right time. And how do you use customer data to understand the shift in behavior and the new consumption pattern, right? We have different tools, right? We have the CRM tools that will give you the past data, past buying trend. And we also have the artificial intelligence that can pick up the right trends for you. So it's all about now integrating the tech with the marketing and the customer data in the long term. That's going to be the need of the hour for a marketing person. Then why marketing analytics? If so much so has been talked about the customer behavior, so much so talking about the changing buying trends, where does analytics play a role? Analytics is all about loads and loads of data and the information that you gather. So this is about a Forbes study that was conducted a couple of years back. And basically they had interviewed a lot of senior professionals 40% report that the customer personalization efforts have directly impacted their sales. 83% have reported that the customer experience did not improve for a long time, and therefore their market share is already at risk. 37% report there is an increase in sales and customer lifetime value through specific product or service recommendations. And last but not the least, 54% analytics leader, they said they have exceeded their revenue targets. So all in all, there is an apparent need for the marketing professionals to use analytics, to use data to suit their outcomes. So what are the challenges? There are multiple challenges a marketing profession today is dealing with. First and foremost is the spend visibility, because there is no direct correlation today that a marketing professional can say based on the spends in terms of what are different channels that he's spending money to acquire that one customer. It's very difficult. It's always you have to map it, you have to attribute. And similarly, that customer's buying pattern to the money spent on luring him or wooing him. So therefore, the spend visibility is a big challenge in terms of correlating the money spent on that campaign, correlating the money spent on that channel. So that's a big challenge that a marketing professional is already facing. Funnel management. Now, there are different ways of funnel creation, right? Starting from introduction to lead to solution to closure. So in terms of different sides of funnel management, we do not know which funnel, at what percentage, what propensity did we lose the customer or did we win the customer, right? So that visibility is still not very clear in a marketing professional's mind. Customer understanding. Now the customer behavior is changing with time. And pre-COVID, the customer behavior is very different. During COVID, is very, very different. So the changing buying patterns in terms of the demographics, in terms of the customer history, expectation, and all these understanding of the changing customer requirement is a challenge in itself. Lack of data. Because while we all believe as an organization, and as many, many organizations, we believe we have all data captured through CRM, through our tools, but ask a question to say, what is the percentage of customers who's bought this product at what time and why? Click of a button, you never get an answer, right? So then 3 different people have to collaborate. There is no click of a button answer because the customer buying patterns have changed. The usage of data is also the big challenge, right? While people will say, I don't have the data, I would say the usage of data is also a big challenge for all marketing professionals. Changing business dynamics. So the shift is more from in-person sales, in-person communication to digital, right? So in the last 18 months, the digital communication has gone very, very high. And there is a shift towards the phygital, which is the physical and digital or omni-channel approach, right? It's no more the physical part. And therefore, the event or the context or the trend-based marketing is more on the search. The customer feedback, that's again a challenge. So how do you actually take an honest customer feedback? If let's say there is a disgruntled customer, anyway, you're going to get an email or through phone calls. But for normal customers, how many of us actually take pain to fill up that form, the online form of why we bought this? So it's very difficult sometimes to understand the customer feedback and change the strategy accordingly. So these are the challenges today a marketing leader is already grappling. So therefore, what is needed? So we need to understand the overall evolving paradigm. So we need to understand how to leverage data, how to get more visibility, and therefore how to get more personalized approach. The first 3 are talking about the customer acquisition. So which channel, what time, what is the strategy, and how do we yet make it personal to that one person through many, many channels, right? So that's the first part. The latter part is once you have acquired a customer, how do you ensure the customer becomes your advocate? How do you ensure the customer keeps coming back to you for different offerings, for different services? And that's the journey that you want the customer to go with. And therefore, the experience that has to be consistent. So it can't be that for service A, the experience is very good, but the transition of service A to a service B, if the transition takes a lot of time, if it is a very difficult transition because of many departments that you have to collaborate internally, therefore you're losing customer experience, right? So the experience has to be consistent. So that's what is needed to have a successful end-to-end great customer journey. So therefore, we're going to touch upon the concept of a sphere framework of customer centricity. And this is from an understanding of most of these are from a perspective that you already got a customer. How do you ensure there is the spend elasticity? So what are the different engagement patterns or engagement strategy you're going to have with that one customer to increase the loyalty? And how would you ensure that the customer gets more of the similar buying behavior customers as a word of mouth? So that's spend elasticity. It's not only about the same customer spending more on, it's also about the same customer getting similar need customers for you. So you don't have to actually spend a lot of money on acquiring you, right? The word of mouth could also be looked at. The second part, which is equally or more important, is the penetration. So how do you actually have additional offers which fall part of the same offering to start with, and then it is an extension? Or how do you get the customer to look for different kind of offerings that you have? So that penetration is very important. And like I said, that also talks about the transition of the customer requirement, or how do you get the customer experience from that one offering to another. The third is the overall experience. So which means every customer, even if it's digital, they need a single point of contact. They need answers to all their questions, click of a button. And especially when they keep comparing your offering, your competition, your pricing in your competition, the experience matters a lot. Because after a point in time, while the customer would want to do a lot of shopping around, but he will keep coming back to if the experience is consistent, which means he knows what he or she is getting. Last but not the least, the acquisition. So we should clearly know which customers we are acquiring, what is the message. So therefore, what is the value we're trying to create to that customer? And that has to be consistently delivered across every message, across every marketing campaign, and therefore not only marketing campaign, across customer delivery, right? Once you've been able to offer the service, these days, the marketing's job is also to go and sit across the delivery to say, is my customer getting the same kind of delivery that we promised him or her? And last but not the least, if we do all this, there is a high chance that you retain the customer. But after a lot of these exercises also, we tend to lose customers. And there are reasons. The reasons could be the behavior has changed. It could be a price point. It could be a peer pressure as well. We do not know the exact reason why we lost that one customer. But it is in our endeavor to focus on the buying pattern, and therefore the end goal is to retain that one customer, because it costs a lot of money and lots of effort, focus strategy to acquire one customer. And it's therefore our responsibility to retain the customer the same way. So let's start with acquisition. So in terms of the target acquisition, we're talking about the propensity and the funnel management. So this is a model that at Nextdigm we use to help many customers, and it's really worked well for them. Not only that, we ensure that they get the campaign visibility to the dashboard and compare the performance and analyze the key driving factors. And driving factors for customer acquisition, as simple as could be the price point, could be the which segment they come from, what channels attract them a lot, and also about the penetration. So how do you penetrate opportunity by look-alike models? It's a very tricky situation that we have most of the time, wherein all these three offerings look alike, but yet how do you penetrate to that one customer and acquire that customer? Last but not the least, how do you put the optimized budget allocation for the market mix? Because you only have a budget that is already prefixed, and there is an expectation that the revenue will go up by X percentage. But at the same time, there are many channels, many segments, many different customers. So how do you optimize your mix so that you get the returns that you're looking for? Let me just give you a case study. This we did it for a leading edtech company a couple of years back. They had a lot of problems actually. So their conversion rate was very low. They did not have any insight of which channel is actually giving them the results, and they did not have any specific tailored sales engagement. So this is what we did. We helped them understand the customer mix. We helped them through the journey of a funnel to a lead to a conversion. And also based on that information, we did the predictive modeling of how their strategy and what's the kind of optimum budget they need to allocate for that one channel. And the results are they had a soaring results, revenue up by 15%, and their sales effort, the overall cost per customer acquisition came down by 10%. So that is a very heartening thing for our customers. And I keep telling everybody, we learn through our customers. So that was part of our learning journey too. And this is what it does. Like I said in the previous slide, that if you do the market mix model well, if you do the propensity model or the predictive one really well, then there is a chance that it attracts more customers at lesser cost. The second topic that we quickly want to touch upon is the spend elasticity. Now, naturally, this is post you acquire a customer. Now, what are the different offerings that you can actually get the customer to so that he can buy into a different pattern? And also, how do you transition that customer to this new offering? And overall, how do you increase the customer lifetime value? The customer lifetime value is also a modeling exercise wherein you can say that if this customer has got the appetite to buy in 5x of what he's already buying today, what are the different discounts? What are the different experience that I can give him today or her today so that she can buy into those all these offerings at one given point in time? Because we need to know the buying pattern, the buying budget, and also the way to attract the customer. And most of the customers, by the way, based on my experience, I can tell you, are more in for experience, less in for the discounts. But sometimes it's also about discount, right? Discounts is a no-brainer that even your competition will be able to offer. But the experience part of it is in terms of getting into the new offering, training on the do's and don'ts, and also trying to walk them through the journey in terms of how to use it, if there are any issues, and proactively calling them and checking if they're still getting the same experience. All these will part of the increased customer lifetime value. So this is very, very important. And, you'll be surprised to know that most of the customers that we use our analytics engine, they increase their spends by 3x. And this is obviously come with a lot of effort, a lot of, talking to the customer, understanding the buying pattern, and also helping them out. So that's what this does. And this finally leads into the visibility of your promotional campaigns, because this is where your promotional campaign will directly attribute to the customer requirement and the future requirement that he or she might have. So you can easily have a better ROI, and you can attribute this to all the efforts that or the spends that you are putting in. So that's the spend elasticity for you. A quick case study about wherein we've been able to help a telecom giant who's got more than 250 million plus subscribers to increase their revenue rate and retention rate. So these are the two things we could put it as a value for this B2B customer, wherein the final outcome was the better personalization and enhanced customer experience, 10% improvement churn rate for postpaid customer, which means they're able to retain that customers, and 15% higher data product adoption, because there is a data plan that they launched new in the market. And through this campaign, we're able to get those customers adopt this well. And that increases a lot of customer value, because if we focus on customer value, revenue is an automatic given, right? So we have to take care of the customer and the value that we're able to generate. So this is a very interesting case study, wherein the problem started with our customer. They believe that for their B2C customers, it would be the same approach, and that we all know is obsolete. There is a massive data they had every day about the buying pattern, about the usage, but they could not leverage the data well. There is a lot of structured and unstructured data handlings, and then we help them to first of all collate the data, cleanse the data, and then put it in a form that we can create a dashboard and then help them to predict and have a strategy accordingly. So these are the problems we solve for the customer. And like I said, the results are there to be seen. But what it also tells a lot of marketing leaders is, please look at your data carefully. Please leverage your data, because if you're able to leverage the data, you have a chance of retaining that customer and also add value to their buying pattern. So now let's quickly get to the implementation part. So this is the overall analytics framework we have, wherein we talk about starting from the raw data and how do you create a data warehouse from multiple sources of information that you have. You cleanse the data and then you create a dashboard wherein you know these are the KPIs or the key performance indicators you want to measure. And based on that, you create a dashboard which gives you visibility part of how are you doing against your goals. Now, based on the dashboard, you can clearly make out the drivers, the opportunities and threat for your campaign and your overall customer retention. And then you take subsequent actions based on the recommendation that we give. And if you implement that, naturally, you'll save a lot of money, you'll retain a lot of customers. And if anything, your cost per customer acquisition will come down, your retention rate will go up. So that's the framework that we are recommending to our customers. And some of the use cases, right? I mean, these are many, I just talked about 3. There are many we've done for our customers as Nextdime. We focused on spend elasticity, we focused on penetration, experience, acquisition, retention, right? And these are the various stages wherein as analytics engine, we could add value to their case, which is in the measure stage, analyze and optimize stage. Be talking about custom profiling, the CX scorecard, or the efficacy analysis, or the market loyalty analytics, or the next best action strategy. There are many things as use cases we have. Like I said, the team is there. If you have any questions, you can reach out to them. They'll be more than happy to walk you through all these case studies. One interesting thing that I want to touch upon is, while there are some of the analytics things we've done as a company, more on project based for 12 months, 18, 24 months, but the long-term benefit that we've helped one of our customers is to build a center of excellence for analytics, so that they started with a situation of they do not have cleansed data to creating a center of excellence for them, which means that in the future they'll be able to not only gather the data but make sense out of it and also have their own professionals. It's a do-it-yourself kind of a concept that through the center of excellence they will have the next generation analytics professionals. They'll have the data that they can leverage, and therefore the value is immense, right? The short-term benefit that we've been able to do through the center of excellence by Nextdime is the revenues up by 10%. The cross-selling opportunity is up by 15%, and even just because it's a B2B, their distribution model is gone up seamless. A lot of issues have been resolved real time, and therefore the future vision for this organization is creating the best-in-class center of excellence customer analytics for them, so they can leverage, right? So short-term, obviously, Nextdime engages and provides their resources to help them a couple of projects. But in the long term, it is their resources who are taking this forward. So this is a very interesting case study. And in this, basically, when we touch upon some of the problems, they started with a lack of customer engagement strategy or a distribution engagement strategy, which led to a lot of low conversion rates. They did not have any insights into customer type, past behavior, or interaction channels. The inability to understand the impact of the promotion that they're using across various domains. These are the problems that they had. And actually, as part of the solution, we help them in doing the opportunity management, which means they will now have visibility into every stage of a lead generation, which is introduction, which is a lead, which is engagement, solutioning, and closure. So across all these stages, now they have the visibility, and therefore that gets converted into an opportunity. Marketing effectiveness, right? So what is the ROI for the campaigns that we've created? And the long-term value analysis. So let's say the customer is already acquired. What is the budget that the customer can extend to today so that we can have the customer with us for other services also? And that's a difficult part because that takes a lot of predictive modeling, that takes a lot of insights into a customer's behavior, customer's budget, but we could do it for them. And last but not the least, the pricing benchmark. So that's a very interesting case study, I must say. And if you're listening to this or part of this session, I would say you should also consider creating a analytics COE for your organization. And this is how, as Nextdigm, we engage with you, right? So we start with the consulting, wherein we engage with you in understanding your problems. We do the discovery workshop. We assess your situation of the curve, evolution curve where you are at. And then for a short term, we have our data engineers, machine learning engineers, and the monitoring team to help you deliver a couple of projects. And then we also help you set up a center of excellence team, hire those guys for you, train them, and then also buddy with them for the next 2 years so that they can start delivering more and more projects, and then we phase out. So that's what our engagement model with you will be if you're interested in a center of excellence concept. In short, coming back to the main agenda point, one, we're talking about customer centricity as a key differentiator. If you want to have more and more customers stick to you, you need to have a personalized approach from different avenues of marketing. Please focus on data. You can derive a lot of value from the data that is lying there at your disposal. Obviously, you need to cleanse, you need to consolidate and standardize. But once you're able to do all this, there is a lot of value to be derived from the data. And getting it right, I think that's the most important part, is you need to have an eye for identification of the right problem areas, and therefore prioritization through various analytics initiatives. So with that, I thank everybody present on the call for their time. If you have any questions, please reach out to Amit Kumar, who's there to help you out on analytics. We have Partha and Vishu also will take you through the case studies. So thank you so much, and look forward to hearing from you on your feedback. Thank you all.